Devontae Adams is acting like he's going to play. So maybe there will be something to watch. Have you seen that shit? Somebody asked him in an interview today. They were like, "Oh, how do you feel about like the risk of getting injury if you do go out and play?" He said, "Man, you can get hurt crossing the street. If you're scared, go to church."
All right, welcome back to Rough Draft Research. We here. Fantasy sports are over. They're dead.
Congrats to everyone that won.
Long live fantasy sports.
And with that
Shout
said,
out to Danny.
Yeah, shout out Danny. And with that said, now fantasy is truly beginning.
That's right.
'Cause we're in Dynasty, baby. It never quits.
You know what this is?
A fist.
2022.
2020, dude.
2022 season starts right now.
I was so happy when like the sleeper. It's like 2022 season renewed. I was like, I felt like a new person.
Wash it off. Wash it off.
Saw the draft order. Like,
Oh yeah.
very happy about that.
Is that posted? I gotta check that out.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
I think I got the 5th pick, huh?
I think so. Yeah, whatever it was.
I don't need. Let's fuck all
You
that.
boys interested in Allen Robinson or what's up?
Yeah. I'll give you a first and
Brandon
Ayuk for Allen Robinson.
Perfect.
Okie dokie. Yeah, congratulations, Danny.
Yeah,
congratulations, Derek. And congratulations, Simon. And congratulations, T-Fred. Got a lot of champions, and I'm not one.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you that ESPN league I was talking to you guys about? Where I was in the ship, I didn't even look at the score. My buddy messaged me. I lost by 3 points because I started the Minnesota head coach who got -5 points.
Oh no!
That's hilarious.
It didn't matter.
So none of us got a ship. Oh well.
No.
Well, that's the episode. 2 minutes of.
All right, bye.
Bye. See ya.
See you next year.
Need to start researching. Yep.
Got 99 champions, and Daniel ain't one. Hit me.
So I guess let's get into some news. Antonio Brown.
Peace. See you.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. He probably helped some people out this year,
Yeah.
Played 7 games, averaged about 17 points per game.
Hey, I told you ADP was next.
Ah, shit. No, my bad. Had the same
fair,
points per
yeah,
game average as Chris Godwin. Whatever. No big deal.
He was playing well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Still a fuck.
Tried to force me to play through injury.
Yeah.
Some people force themselves to do that. They're called team players.
People that really care about their teams and stuff.
I'm
Usually
sorry,
do that.
He was probably
my
like, I was
goodness.
going to play until you told me that I couldn't.
Also,
Or
wasn't
shouldn't.
he playing
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Like, it was good, right? They were just losing, and then he quit and danced in the end zone with a broken ankle, apparently. One that was broken so bad that he said it was digging into the tendon of his ankle, but he did jumping jacks in the end zone as he left the stadium. I
Yeah.
hate him. I fucking hate him, and I hope I never have to hear about him again. He's a piece of shit.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
My God.
I guess the other is, let's see, Derrick Henry practiced today or is activated to return.
Yeah.
And then Cam Akers also practicing in full after only 6 months of an Achilles tear, which is insane.
That is insane.
Yeah,
One of those feels like a bigger deal than the other, but
that's true.
Oh.
And
But
that's you're talking about Paris Campbell trending.
yeah.
Trending towards playing.
That's
That's a huge deal.
Huge, dude.
Darren
Yeah, I
Waller
mean-
probably back this week.
Both those teams getting a stud running back like that back is going to be huge for the playoffs. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying that the Titans, if they close it out and get the number 1 seed and get Derrick Henry back, that's going to hurt a lot of people in the playoffs, I think.
Well, the way those running backs have been playing, they should just line all three of them up in the backfield. Split A.J. Brown out. The new offense.
Yeah, how are the Titans still doing this, you know? It's blowing me away, and then you're like, oh, and now, you know, Derrick Henry, after resting for, you know, 6 weeks or whatever, it's just going to come, well, you know, resting with an injury is kind of not really resting, but you know what I mean? It's going to be pretty fresh.
You know what, though? If they lose their first game, are they hashtag the New Orleans Saints? The New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, New Orleans North, Tennessee.
Maybe. I am interested to see how a body like Derrick Henry that's been through so much punishment and so much work responds after an injury like that, because he hasn't really been majorly hurt.
Yeah.
And so this is like his first major injury he's going to be coming back from. And I mean, we did the RB longevity episode where I was talking about his body's going to start breaking down soon. He's just done too much. So I am pretty intrigued and hopeful that it doesn't affect him, because, you know, the best players being at their best is what makes football fun. But I am intrigued to see if it slows him down or makes him look different.
Well, I'm also interested to see, like, Donta Foreman and Dontrell Hilliard, like, they've earned a role, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, even with Derrick Henry back, I guess fantasy implications not so much anymore, so you're not going to get mad at this, but we could see a rotational role. Like, Derrick Henry might remain on this team, but just not with that full workload. So if he holds on to that full workload going into the end of the season, maybe trade him.
Yeah.
He's a second down back.
I think they'd be smart to do that, but we'll see what happens. I feel like you could easily, if they start losing. Okay, I'm going to restart this statement. I could see kind of falling back into old trends if they start losing in the playoffs. Like, they could start with the plan of having that three-way split to keep Derrick kind of off the field and keep him healthy. But if they start losing, it's going to be way too easy to just keep handing the ball to him. Yeah. Because that's what you're good at. That's your bread and butter. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, should be very interesting. So I guess that kind of wraps up the news, yeah?
I guess so.
Unless you wanted to talk about Paris Campbell for a second?
No, he's trending towards playing.
Okay.
So that's cool. You got to get your Buckeye update every now and again.
I got you, man. Well,
I'm glad I don't have to worry about Paris Campbell anymore.
Yeah.
Because I spent a first-round draft pick in our first rookie draft on him. It was like the 5th overall pick. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Hey.
I was so jealous of that pick that I traded out of the first after you took him. So
I was super stoked about it.
Dang.
But, you know, now I turned him into Elijah Mitchell in the for the belt league. So
wow, that's pretty nice.
Wow, all stories lead to Elijah Mitchell, huh? Here it is.
I'll fit his name in there somewhere.
Thought we'd turn the page on that one.
Never.
You're preaching to the choir over here. I'm not trying to hear your sermon. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So. Yeah, all right.
Got him. Just talk about some head coaches that are possibly getting the axe. So we'll turn it over to you guys. Christian, take the lead, my dude.
Yeah, let's go on to the chopping block here. So I got 6 names that I think are the most likely to be fired. Unfortunately, it's always, you know, I don't like seeing anybody lose their job, but it happens every year.
Okay.
So what about Urban Meyer?
Yeah, you're talking about Urban Meyer, right? You don't like to see anyone lose their job? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. I like seeing Urban Meyer get fired.
All right, I won't.
And let's be real, coaches' contracts are fully guaranteed regardless. So fuck these guys. They get fired and they still make millions of dollars. So it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, there's another reason to hate them.
The first one I wanted to talk about, I thought was the most likely, and now there's conflicting reports that he's already been told by the Bears that he's not coming back. and he has denied those reports, and that's Matt Nagy. First of all, I don't know how you tell someone that they're being fired but still expect them to show up to work for one more week. Seems weird to me. Like, I feel like if my job at Verizon, they were like, hey, we're not going to pay you after this, but you need to come in next week, I'd say fuck you and not come in. So,
let's see. I was going to mention that there's there's a new rule about in-season coaching interviewing, where it's like after week 16, you can interview coaches for next year, but you have to have already informed your current coach that they will not be returning. So that could factor into it.
I guess that makes sense, but just fire him then.
Straight up, right?
Yeah. Like, what's the point? Like, you don't care about this game. This game doesn't matter. Let one of your coordinators who's never been a head coach get one game to be a head coach and move the fuck on. I don't understand this game. Anyway, so Matt Nagy started off super hot. Obviously, 2018 wins Coach of the Year, gets the Bears into the playoffs, and then immediately loses on the double doink. And since then, it's just not gone very well. He's an offensive guy. Their offense has been terrible. It was probably the worst offense. I wouldn't say that, because their running game was actually pretty good this year, but it was the worst passing offense by far in the league. And his record overall is 34-30, which is actually better than I expected it to be. 0-2 in the postseason. He's just not done anything since winning Coach of the Year. It's like he set the expectations too high. You know, when a brand new company gets that initial offer from like an investment company and they expect the return, that's what they expected with Matt Nagy, and he just didn't live up to it. So I think he's gone.
For sure. This is 4th year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's long enough. Shit, or get out of Chicago.
But it is crazy. He's made the playoffs 2 out of his 4 years. It still blows my mind that the Bears were in the 2020 playoffs. It's still, I always forget that. Like,
I forgot about it until you just said that.
Yeah, right? Like, they stumbled in and then got drummed out. So it doesn't really count, but he's a 2-time playoff coach. So, but yeah, there's been nothing there. The stories coming out of there aren't very good. I even spelled his name wrong in my notes. So let's move on from Marty Nagy. And
Marty. Dude, it's kind of crazy. I mean, he's drafted. Did he draft Trubinsky too? Like, did he draft 2 first-round quarterbacks now?
No, that would have been the year before.
2017, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the same year as Mahomes.
Okay, yeah. I just had that thought for a moment. I'm like, holy shit. You let this guy draft 2 quarterbacks?
But they did let the GM, Ryan Pace, do that. And
yeah, he's on the hot water boiling.
You would think he's on the chopping block, too.
Oh,
You'd think Chicago's going to clean house. But let's move on to another coach. A little bit more interesting, this one. And there's a couple that I'm going to start off with a question. And my question is, when was the last time that you were worried about playing the Seahawks?
2018?
Maybe. I feel like I haven't been worried about them since like 2015 or 16. Like, they've been good, but not like, even last year they were 12-4 and made it into the playoffs. You know, that's crazy to me that they were 12-4. They didn't seem like a 12-4 team. And of course that leads me, I'm talking about Pete Carroll. They had a terrible season this year. And Pete Carroll's in his 70s. He's a Super Bowl winning coach, an 11-10 postseason record, 151-104 and a tie. So he's got a good winning record, but they've just not been good enough. And I feel like Seattle may have to choose between Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. And I think that's an easy decision.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've got a little bit to say on this one. I'm sure you may have some more to say. But there's really no excuse for Pete Carroll. Like, he knows this team. It's 12th year with them. They go 6-10 with, a perennial MVP candidate and Russell Wilson.
Heart of a lion.
And it reminds me of a team you may be familiar with from 2018 that went 6-9-1.
I am familiar with that team.
And then they fired Mike McCarthy and allowed, a better head coach to come in and salvage an MVP caliber quarterback and just rally the troops and go. I see.
Yeah, and
very similar.
No, I'm right there with you. It's sometimes a coach gets fired, and there's actually another one that we're going to talk about later. Spoiler alert, that maybe doesn't even deserve it, but it's just time for a fresh start. It's time for something different. This is stagnant. It's not working. And that's where we're at with Pete Carroll. That's where we were at with Mike McCarthy. It's just not working anymore. We need to move on and do something else. And I'm right there with you. The Packers do it. And now they've done something that no one in the league has ever done. And they've won 13 games in a row, or 13 games for 3 years in a row. And no one's ever done that. So maybe we could see something similar with the Seahawks if they brought in just something fresh, somebody new, something just new to do.
Hell yeah. Hopefully it's an offensive line coach.
Yeah, that'd be tight. I mean, they could just, draft an offensive lineman once in a while, but
and not have Dwayne Eskridge after signing Tyler Lockett to a 4-year deal. That's crazy.
I feel like that whole division decided to do something nuts. Let's do something nuts, Let's get crazy. You get Tutu Atwell. You go get Rondell Moore. We'll get Dwayne Eskridge,
The 49ers will draft 2 running backs for some reason.
We saw what they did, what the 49ers did with Brandon Ayuk. Let's hold my
hot sauce Carroll, man. I thought he was going to take that USC job, when it came up. Come on, let's just do the damn thing, man.
I do want to say, I think of the 6 I have, Pete Carroll is probably the least likely to get fired, in my opinion, just because of his track record. But I think it's still fairly likely that we see a new head coach in Seattle.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice.
Yeah.
He's definitely coasting. Don't pull a Pittsburgh and give him one last year to redeem himself.
Well, I think the way that division has hired, or the coaches that have been hired in that division as well, you're going to have to keep up at some point.
Yeah, it is a whole different subculture. There's Seattle.
And then I really think Pete Carroll had a chance to save his job, because obviously Russell gets hurt for the first time, and they have a 4-game stretch where they don't have him, right? 4 or 5, whatever it was. And they don't do very well. But then Russ comes back, and at that moment, you're still in playoff contention. And you could have that was his chance to save his job. Even if they didn't make the playoffs, if they kind of made it interesting and kind of forced their way to in, I think you'd have an argument. But they didn't. They flopped, and the team's better than that. Russell's better than that. Pete Carroll's better than that. Time to move on.
Yep. And for the love of God, get a running back in there that's not Chris Carson. You guys, you get it. You need to find a new running back without an injury history.
You mean DJ Dallas?
No, I thought Travis Homer maybe, but no.
I mean Rashad Penny, but there's no way they re-signed Rashad Penny, right?
He did just crush it.
He has crushed it, but
absolutely, against Chicago.
That guy might have owed himself or earned himself a paycheck.
And Houston. So
shit.
Speaking of Houston, we can get this one out of the way pretty quickly, because I don't even think David Culley was really. Is it David?
David.
I'm questioning everything about what I know. Whatever. I don't think Culley was even really hired to be the long-term answer. I think Houston punted this year away with the whole Deshaun Watson stuff going on. It didn't really know what was going on, and it would have taken a miracle for David Culley to keep his job, in my opinion. If he had come out and had a 10-7 or 11-6 record, maybe then you go, oh, maybe we got something. But a 4-12 team, obviously they were a really bad team. I just think it sets up for. I honestly think David Culley was just an interim head coach anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that whole situation there with the front office and then Deshaun, it was toxic, man. They I don't want to say they got lucky, but like something happened where the heat got shifted over. Urban Meyer helped out a lot.
Yeah.
The history in Washington,
John
Gruden. You got John Gruden. Yeah, everything happened to make them look like just kind of shitty, but not like, they were the sore spot on the league coming in. But I mean, you got to look at a 5-year contract for David Culley. Like, I don't know, man. But you're right. They were scrambling. They wanted to go a certain direction, and then the world told them they couldn't do that, and then they went with Culley, and now we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe Deshaun will get to pick the new head coach, and then he'll be happy, and then he'll stay, and then I mean, what are you gonna do? It's kind of funny. You hire the Ravens wide receiver coach. What do you expect?
Like good job.
I mean, it worked out for Brandon Cooks, but that's about all.
Yeah, I mean, that defense looked pretty all right. Yeah, maybe old Lovie Smith, the DC.
There you go. I'd like to see Lovie.
That'd be great.
Back.
So
well, and you got to remember, like this team really was comical in the off season. I remember when we went into free agent spending and we did the divisional breakdown, and like the highest per year contract they gave out was like $1.8 million. So they weren't trying. So I can't really blame Culley for any of what happened. But I don't think he's the vision for riding the ship.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I don't blame him at all either. I don't think it's his fault. And that's why I started it with, I think the Texans punted this year away. It was just, they knew what was going to happen. Yeah. So I'm with you. I don't blame him at all. But I don't think he's going to be the guy that fixes it.
No.
They also were like low key the most surprising part of week 1 of the NFL when Tyrod Taylor came out.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Just playing lights out with Brandon Cooks, and I mean they beat up on the Jaguars, but
which
I mean they also beat Tennessee, and they also beat the Chargers. Like they got the wins they have were pretty cool. I mean, honestly, obviously you beat Jacksonville a couple times, whatever, but those other 2 wins, shit. And hey, man, maybe if they ruffle some feathers, fuck Tennessee up this weekend, that'd be cool with me.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah. I mean, Houston was. That's always those teams' toughest opponents is the one you're expecting to kick the shit out of. I think we learned that this year for sure.
Yeah, as a KU basketball fan, I'm well aware.
All right. Well.
All right. So next up, we got Vic Fangio of the Broncos. Career record of 19-29. Came out swinging. Top 10 defense in his first year as a head coach. Top 10 on the cusp this year. But he's never had a winning record. And I just think there are too many weapons on this offense not to utilize that. And I like the idea of hiring an offensive-minded head coach and installing an older veteran defensive coordinator to run that top 10 defense. Because if the offense works, well, A, they need to get a quarterback. B, they need a head coach with an offensive mindset. And ironically, I think Vic Fangio would make a great defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But somebody like that, I think, could really help this team. But I just think Vic Fangio is kind of like a dinosaur living in today's world, like just the older defensive-minded head coach. That's great. That's awesome. Your defense is awesome. Nobody's going to take that away from you, but it's not how you win in the NFL anymore.
I sense some foreshadowing.
Interesting. Well, I don't know, man. I really like Fangio, and like you're saying, the defense has been amazing. You know, even this year they kept the Cowboys to 16 points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2 weeks ago they kept Cincinnati to 15 points. That was right before Joe Burrow threw for 525, and then they came in and punched Kansas City straight in the dick with that Jamar Chase shit. So obviously, just as you said, man, with all those weapons on the offense, you want to see something. But how much can you blame Fangio? As you were saying, is obviously Teddy Bridgewater was brought in by the front office, right?
I would say so. Pat Schumer and I forget the GM's name, who came from Minnesota, but
A couple Minnesota guys, very, very enamored with Teddy Bridgewater.
George Patton.
And then you think Fangio was like, let's take Pat Surtain first round. We need, you know what I mean? Like, I can't really blame him. Obviously, in the extension with all the wide receivers, is he handling these contracts?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like, this is what we got. I can't really figure out the offensive side of things. So let's just be awesome defensively. I think they could have done more on the ground this year with the running backs they had, but it worked out pretty well for them. I think that you give this guy a quarterback and you give him another year. I'd give him another year.
Okay.
But I just like Fangio quite a bit, as you do too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Fangio is a good coach, and his defense speaks for itself. If you're going to do that, then you need to hire a better offensive coordinator then.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to go. I think Pat Schumer was supposed to be that answer. You know, he had the 2017 Vikings that he worked wonders with Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And then goes on to the Giants, sucks absolute butts. And then I think they just thought they believed in him, and it's just not working. Whether that's quarterback or what. But he was supposed to be the guy that can do it with a bad quarterback, you know?
Yeah. But that's also where you got to say, okay, well, part of it is on Fangio too, because coaches hire their own staff. And he doesn't understand okay, I'm not going to say that. That guy knows more about football than me than I probably ever will.
Yeah.
But his offense isn't good enough to stand on its own, so you have to bring in a guy that's going to complement your defense well, and clearly he hasn't been able to do that because his offense has always been poor, and they have the weapons to do it. They just don't have a quarterback. But yeah, I mean, if Fangio stayed and they hired an offensive coordinator and got a quarterback, that would be cool with me. I like Fangio, but if I have to pick, I feel like 5 or 6 coaches usually get fired, and 2 of them have already been fired, but I wanted to pick 6. So I think Fangio and Carroll are probably down at the end of my list as most likely, and maybe Fangio and Carroll fight for that last spot. Because I am with you. I don't know that I would put it all on Vic Fangio, but like I was talking about earlier, sometimes you just need a change. You just got to do it differently.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You think about the Chicago team and the defense, and it's like I just brought that kind of disappointing offensive quarterback play straight into Denver.
Oh, yeah. So the Rex Grossman years.
Yeah. He wasn't with. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Vic, good job, dude. I like you. I hope they give you another year, but fucking, I guess we talked about Vic Fangio enough. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, so I'll move on to my other one. Then I'm going to start with a question.
Okay.
And that is, what exactly does Joe Judge do? Like, all these coaches have something they do well. Fangio has an awesome defense. Culley has made a team with terrible roster at least play well. Pete Carroll's won a Super Bowl, been in the playoffs a whole bunch of times. Matt Nagy had an offense at one point. He forgot how to do it, but he had it. What does Joe Judge do well? Explain to me why he's a head coach. Because I don't think you can do it. I know I can't do it. He was a special teams coordinator for New England, who always has really good special teams, to be fair. Probably the best special teams consistently every year.
Well, still have great special teams, and
he's
not
gone.
there.
Yeah.
So what's up?
So what does he do? Like, what? I don't understand Joe Judge. He's 10-22 as a head coach. And I just...
Technically a 2-time BCS national champion and 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
As a special teams coordinator and assistant.
Maybe he'll go back to Alabama after he gets fired.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. If you're the Giants front office or the owner, I feel like that's the question you're going to be having to ask yourself. And if you can answer that question, by all means, keep Joe Judge and keep this sad sack mediocre train rolling, or wake up and realize that you need to move on.
Can't argue with that. I honestly have nothing to say about Joe Judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's nothing. Like, he's a nothing personality. Yeah. All right, so we'll get to what I think is the biggest and most interesting one here. And I'm looking at Mike Zimmer, and I know that sucks, AJ, and I'm with you because I like Mike Zimmer. I think first of all, he's funny. We were talking about it before the podcast.
Amazing.
He's got a hot girlfriend.
Yeah, smoking hot.
He's
girlfriend.
funny, hot girlfriend. Like, what else do you want in life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I was making the show.
You're being really nice, by the way.
The Next Bus. Did you guys ever watch Next?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you get $1 for every
MTV.
minute you're on a date. And
Yeah.
They can be like, next.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wasn't yelling next in your face.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so I like Mike Zimmer. AJ likes Mike Zimmer. I think Dan does, at least to a point.
I
But
like watching him talk in a microphone.
yeah, he's gonna finish with a losing record for the second year in a row. He's known as being a defensive-minded coach, and his defense the last few years has not cut it. 2021, they were 25th in points per game and 31st in yards. And in 2020, they were 29th in points per game and 27th in yards. And this is the craziest stat to me. Mike Zimmer is 71, 56, and 1 for his career record. He's 17 and 40 against teams that have finished the season with a winning record. 17 and 40. That's double the amount of losses when the competition steps up. And
So, he's benefited from playing the Lions and the Bears a little bit there.
Yeah.
and but to be fair to him, he is the one that gives Aaron Rodgers the most trouble. Aaron Rodgers absolutely dominates the other two teams in the division, and the Vikings are pretty good at playing Rodgers. So there's qualities of Zimmer that you understand why he's lasted so long, but I just don't know if you could look down the road and really see what's going to be different next year. You know what I mean? With Mike Zimmer, nothing. You're gonna get the same team. It's a really good up and down team that ends up going nowhere.
You got
Hey,
the
you
offense.
get an Irv Smith back.
Hey,
That's it.
hey,
That offense runs through Irv Smith.
hey! You want to draft a special teams player in the 3rd and the 4th? You go fucking do it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
You want a new? Our offensive coordinator is going to retire. We're going to hire his son. Yeah, you hear me?
Is this
Yeah.
K-State?
All right.
And I think. Go ahead.
Oh no, go. You got it.
Oh, well, I was gonna wrap up. So if you had another thought, you should take it.
I just have a suspicion that old Mike Zimmer is going to be staying, only because the way the owners and the GM, they just really like the guy. I don't know if that's good for your football team. It just seems like with Kirk Cousins, with that cap hit coming up, I think it's like $44 million. It just seems like it's going to be really hard to just clean house. But with that said, a new leaf might be nice. Like you said, when you were talking about Pete Carroll, I was like, yeah, it would be nice to at least have a little bit of hope, not just know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point. At a certain time, you have to look, and you just know what you're going to get with a Mike Zimmer-led team, and that's good. And he's a good coach, but it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And you've given him enough time. He has an awesome roster, and they just still can't get it done. And so I just think, and I'm with you. I could see them because, yeah, the Minnesota ownership is weird. And like we talked about earlier, Kirk Cousins is still there for another year unless he's traded. Like, and they may just link it all and then just see what happens next year and then go. But I have a thought.
Oh.
What about Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator and Eric Bieniemy as the head coach of the Denver Broncos?
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
tight.
my God. No way.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be the ultimate punishment for everything AJ's ever said.
Well, how good is he? Is he as good as Joe Judge at interviewing? That's
Oh,
all I
that's
have to ask.
hilarious.
Apparently not.
Wow, that would be.
He's worse than a lot of people at interviewing, according
Apparently.
to the record.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually that's very interesting.
I mean, I don't know that it'll happen. It seems like the Chiefs might block that if they could. Like, they might let him interview for other jobs, but maybe not Denver.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be interesting. But my real point is, if Mike Zimmer wants to keep coaching, I think he should, because he usually has a really good defense. Maybe not the last 2 years, but there's been a lot of injuries and stuff. I don't think it's all his fault.
Yeah, that
But-
defensive line last year was atrocious, and then kind
Yeah.
of the same thing this year with Everson Griffin and Daniil Hunter. But not
Nope.
to,
But
not
if
to
he-
name names.
There's a first round cornerback in there. Something.
Yeah, did some
Yeah.
shitty shit.
Something.
Yeah. But if he could be the defensive coordinator for an offensive-minded coach, I think that'd be really cool.
I
But
agree.
my final nail in the Mike Zimmer coffin, and I think this is the biggest point, that means he needs to get fired. Antonio Brown said that the best person to fix the Vikings is Mike Zimmer. Therefore, they need to move on from Mike Zimmer because Antonio Brown's a fuck.
An
Wait,
endorsement
Antonio-
from Antonio
he said
Brown.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
It was in some like Instagram video that
So-
he was doing.
So basically, he's like, I think this is the one team that's desperate enough to take me as a receiver.
I heard Antonio Brown said that the best fantasy football podcast was Rough Draft Research.
Oh, don't taint
so-
us.
Well, then I have to quit.
No, man.
Are you just clapping? Do some jumping jacks, wave to the camera,
Yeah.
like take your shirt off.
Fuck this.
Antonio Brown said that? Fuck this. Trying to make me play, my ankle hurts.
Man,
I
dude,
thought the whole thing was a bonus. Like he was so close to getting a bonus, and they benched him, to rest him because of his injury. That's what I thought was going on, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you guys know what I'm talking about?
oh, so you think
Yeah.
perhaps he was like, you're not playing because we don't want to pay you?
That was like what the initial defense was,
Oh, gotcha.
because he was like, there was $1 million worth of bonuses that he was one good game away from,
Okay, gotcha.
but he was also questionable throughout the
Yeah.
week. So it's whatever, man. We'll never know the truth between.
No.
Something tells me Tom Brady wouldn't be like, let's not have Antonio Brown in there when we're
Yeah.
losing to the Jets.
Right. Dude,
But,
yeah, so I like between what happened in Antonio Brown's mind and what the world is aware of, there will always be a disconnect. So we'll just have to accept that.
Well, to wrap up that Zimmer, man, what about instead of Eric Bieniemy, Kellen Moore?
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
That would be. He's used to some wild receiver talent.
I still don't think Kellen Moore's leaving Dallas, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's.
Mike McCarthy leaves Dallas before Kellen Moore does.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
Jerry knows what's up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
Well-
if it happens, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be really tight. Kellen Moore
You can put him
and
anywhere.
Mike Zimmer on defense, and then you just spend your first round pick on a quarterback. There you go. Broncos to the playoffs,
jeez.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the whole AFC West to the playoffs.
Dude, what if Kellen Moore just played quarterback?
Oh,
There
there
you
you
go.
go.
Dude,
Tell you what.
Boise State days.
That's right, man. Romo's keeping a warm seat for his retirement plans too, you know. So
Yeah.
Kellen, he's got it. He's got it set up for life, man. He's no Kellen Mund. He's much more.
Oh Jesus, that was good. That was good.
So
Well,
my final
I guess
Mike
that
Zimmer
that
reference.
that wrap up the old coaches.
Chopping
Is that-
block.
The coaches chopping block,
Chopped up.
chopped and screwed.
Well, now that we've talked about a bunch of teams that have no
Been
shot
chopped.
at the playoffs, let's do a little. We're gonna do a draft, you know, like we've been doing, but we want to keep it relevant. You never know who's sitting on the bench, resting up, riding the pine. So we're gonna do a little playoff preview, so everyone can see what's at stake, who's got skin in the game, and the teams that are actually going to be playing their starters. I'm just going to run through a couple scenarios, and then that'll set us up for the draft. So in the NFC, we know that the Packers have clinched the home field advantage and the North. They got the North by the short hairs. So that's fine, you know, a couple 13-win seasons or whatever. All right, so move out to the west side of the NFC, and you got the Rams and the Cardinals, and they still have, you know, the Cardinals could still win the division if they beat Seattle and the Rams lose. So the Rams probably going to want to win, so they're not a wild card team. Keep the number 2 seed there. And then the Cardinals probably want to win so that they could get the division, to give them a little more home field advantage action. So I look for the Rams and the Cardinals to both be playing their starters.
Oh, yeah.
The Bucks have clinched the South, and the Cowboys have clinched the East. And so then in the wild card race, Philadelphia is in the playoffs, but there is the Saints and the Rams, or the Saints and San Francisco. It hasn't been decided who the 7th team is in this race, right? So you're going to want to see the Saints beat Atlanta and the San Francisco lose to the Rams in order for the Saints to get in. So it's kind of crazy.
Seems likely
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
yeah, it's crazy because, you know, the Rams are kind of on a heater. They've had a few dud games, but it's wild to think that they could just not make the playoffs. Or I guess the 49ers, I'm saying. The 49ers could not make the playoffs if they lose to the Rams and then the Saints win. So I'm expecting the Saints to make the push and for the 49ers to make the push. So there's 4 teams with major playoff implications. That's the Rams, the Cardinals, 49ers, and the Saints in the NFC. And I don't know if you had any questions.
Nope.
Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied in the moment
good.
there, as I'm one to do. So in the AFC, we have the Titans, who are 11-5, and they got the South, but they need to win this week in order to keep the number 1 seed if the Chiefs happen to also win. So the Chiefs have the Broncos on Saturday. The Titans have the Texans on Sunday. So if they both win, Titans, Chiefs. But if the Titans lose and the Chiefs win, then it flips. So both these teams are going to want to win. So the Titans and Chiefs are in the pool. The Bengals have clinched the North, and I don't think they really care. They could be the number 1 seed if the Chiefs and the Titans both lose, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But Mixon is out. Burrow got injured at the end of the game. He's taking the week off. So I think they're going to rest up and be happy with just having
Making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good job, 10-6. That was a crazy game against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was.
It's crazy. It's the Chiefs versus the refs and the Bengals. Crazy how that went down, 2 against 1. The Bills and the Patriots, they're kind of fighting for the last spot, you know, as far as 4th ranked in the East. So that's kind of something, but I'm not really throwing that in as a as a must start your starters game. But one that is a major must start, the rest of these are kind of crazy. So the Colts are up against the Jags, right? And they have to win because they're 9-7. The Chargers are 9-7, and the Raiders are 9-7. So only 2 of those teams, and possibly the Steelers and the Ravens, are going to make it in. The Raiders and the Chargers play each other, so whoever wins that game is in. But if the Colts happen to lose, then there are several scenarios where the Steelers or the Ravens could kick them out of the playoffs. If there's like a tie or the Ravens win, it's crazy. If the Ravens win and then the Chargers and the Colts and the Dolphins lose, then they go in. It's nuts. It's nuts. So what's going to happen is the Colts are going to play their starters and they're going to have to go kick ass. And then the Chargers and the Raiders, obviously the winner advances. They're going to play their starters and kick ass. So you got the Titans, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Colts. Major playoff implications. Add those to the NFC teams, Rams, Cardinals, San Francisco, and the Saints. And you got the 9 teams that are definitely going to be playing their starters this weekend. I think. All right, hose me down.
No,
yeah.
It was a good run. And please, God, don't let us have the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs.
Oh my God!
No offense, Danny.
You want me to?
Hey, at least Mike Tomlin kept his winning record, though.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. They should never have tied that game. That was the Lions, right?
Yeah.
Dude, how fucking crazy. I mean, there's still a world where they don't make the playoffs even with that win. But yeah. They can clinch.
They have to win and the Colts have to lose.
Yep.
And then as long as Chargers Raiders doesn't end at a tie.
Yep.
That's how the Steelers get in. So it would be crazy. But
that'd be crazy if the Raiders made the playoffs after everything.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The craziest thing that I saw on here is that if the Colts lose and then the Chargers and the Raiders tie, then the Chargers and the Raiders both make it.
Get in.
Whoa, that'd be crazy.
That would be insane. What if and I don't know how the schedule goes, but if the Colts lost and then no, that's the Sunday night game, the Chargers and the Raiders. So if the Colts lose, they could just intentionally tie.
Do they just walk out and be like, we're good?
We both forfeit. Well, you can't forfeit. Just kneel it for.
Well, you could just not pass the ball and only run the ball and not score.
Just punt it on first down, back and forth.
That would be the most time consuming in prime time. You're like, okay.
Just 3 to 6 seconds of play.
Right. I haven't watched The Simpsons in a long time, but I know that's on Sunday night, right? I guess we'll just flip over to Fox real quick. So yeah, I mean that sets us up for our draft, man. We're gonna duke it out. He's got the matchup, so I kind of touched on him a little bit, but the Rams are playing the 49ers, so that's starters on starters for sure. The Cardinals are playing the Seahawks, who the Seahawks don't have a hope in the world. The Saints are playing the Falcons. Falcons don't have much skin in this game. The Titans and the Texans. Revenge game for the Titans, who lost to the Texans earlier this year. But aside from pride, the Texans don't have much to play for. The same with the Chiefs, Broncos. The Colts and the Jags. What are you going to say about the Jags? And then the Raiders and the Chargers. That's a big matchup. So the Raiders, Chargers, Rams, 49ers are those are major games where both sides are fighting for a whole shit ton of stuff.
Hey, don't sleep on that Saints Falcons game, man. Falcons hate the Saints.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I love how this season has gone, just like the in division.
Dude,
I love the 18 games.
I'm really excited for a AFC West matchup. It's like kind of teeing off the way kind of we talked about earlier in the year of like the AFC West just kind of like moving its way to the top.
Yeah,
and, you
they all
know, the
had good
fucking
runs,
Raiders are
man.
part of it after everything. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the Broncos were in the conversation earlier in the year, you know?
yeah.
And people are in the streets like, give Vic one more year. Give Vic one more year. You know?
Well, for sure.
Whatever. So I guess we didn't do one last week, right?
No,
Or
and I didn't tally the scores for the other one. So with the COVID, it got weird. So,
He
you
didn't
know, we
have
all
enough
know
free
Christian's
time in a
got
quarantine
the
to
worst
tally it.
record. So we'll
Hey,
let him
that's-
start.
Oh, thanks.
You're like, all right, I'll take that.
What'd you
Jonathan
say?
Taylor. Think that's
Okay.
fairly simple. They need to win. The Jags suck dick. Jonathan Taylor is going to be really good. Not much analysis there, but there you go.
So who's up next?
You'll take it.
Okay.
It's already in this order, so.
So who needs to win? I guess I just went through it. Let me recap my life. Think twice. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Austin Eckler. For
That's a
sure,
good
they
call.
need to win against the Chargers.
Would you mind marking these out as
Yeah, let me. I was gonna. I don't have.
You don't mind?
I don't have it open, but I soon will.
I got it.
Oh, nice.
So let's see. The Cardinals are contesting for the top seed, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Green Bay
Well,
has
no,
the top
yeah.
seed locked
Green
up.
Bay. Okay, yeah, but they're fighting for the
Division.
Division,
My bad.
yeah.
My bad. Man, actually, I'm gonna take Alvin Kamara.
Ooh.
I was hoping he'd come back to me.
Dude,
I really wanted to
he
take
looked
him.
really good. And like, man,
Damn, I almost did him, but I knew you'd take Eckler, right?
I
So,
would have 100%.
Yeah, I thought that he had a better chance of coming back to me.
So with, let's see, looking through this, maybe a must-win game. Man, I was looking at a quarterback. Now let's go with. I'm gonna snag him right here. I'm gonna snag Cooper Kupp.
Aw.
I'm doing it.
Finally. That was the first time I'm not going to have him.
I know.
Yeah,
I love
mean,
it.
We're talking about snagging and must win. I got to take Elijah Mitchell.
Oh,
That's fair.
boy.
Dude, what a game last week for my
Dude, he
boy.
looks good, man.
Yeah, he does.
Just like if you were listening to this podcast, you might have him on your fantasy team.
Yeah.
Let's
True
just say
that.
the only reason he's not on my and Daniel's fantasy team is because we couldn't do that to Christian, right?
Yeah, I thought about it. Drafting Nick Chubb in the Superflex startup that's as close as I could get to dipping in your sauce.
Well, I appreciate that for sure. Go ahead and give me Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Smart.
Just take the stack for a team that needs to win, and critically, a team that's playing on Saturday, so they're not going to know their fate, so they're going to have to win
True.
Oh,
and just play as if they don't have a chance, you know? So, and obviously we haven't really gotten the Chiefs very often in this draft game that we play. So it's kind of fun just to have Travis Kelce. It's actually really cool that we have Kelce, Kittle, and Waller all available. I know Waller's still dealing with some stuff, but
He's trending right.
yeah. He's the Paris Campbell kind of guy, you know?
That's right. If not him, then who? I guess I'm up.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep it real and keep it rolling with Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Trying to get all these must-win players out.
Let's see, man. Looking. Oh man, this is gonna be. I'm gonna take Donta Foreman.
Nice.
Hopefully, Derrick Henry doesn't play, but if they don't need him, I feel like maybe he doesn't. And I really like how that guy's been playing.
Can't go wrong.
And then to come back, I think I am going to just go ahead and scoop up George Kittle here.
Smart move.
He has been fairly ineffective lately, though. I feel like George Kittle.
I do too, but a must-win game.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, I'm with you, but just something to keep your eye on. I feel like he scored like 5 points the last 2 weeks in a row. So
That's good for him. I'm sorry. I'm yelling outside.
who's Tyler?
Yeah, he's that's actually Branson Ayuk's brother.
Oh.
Give me AJ Brown.
Oh, God damn it. That's what I wanted.
Oh, you got there's plenty in there, man. That's the man. You got them all. You got to get your own 49er, right?
Yeah. Do I?
hey,
Oh, well, I guess I was going to do this, so that's fair. Yeah, let me get Deebo Samuel. Thinking a must-win game. They're going to use him a lot. And just because it's fun, Trey Lance.
I just lost a friend.
Wait, what?
oh, I don't care. I'll tell him to shut up.
He's over here salty. I almost took Debo, and then he's over here salty. Well, that's cool. That makes my job easy. I'll take Tyreek.
Oh,
play.
so that's what you were doing. You were just throwing off the scent. So you take Tyreek. Man, you're a snake.
No, I mean I drafted AJ Brown because I wanted, and then I was going to take whoever was left out of Debo and Tyreek. Man,
Oh, I got you.
And
Well,
I just didn't
let's-
want Tyreek because I already had Mahomes and Kelsey. So I'll go
Yeah.
Debo.
Well, I guess I'll take someone here in a must-win game. I'm going to take Michael Pittman.
yeah, 1,000-yard season, sleepy but
Dude,
creepy.
he was good this year, man.
Hell yeah, he's really good, dude.
Um,
Yeah.
His brother Micah coming up just hit the transfer protocol, so
Yeah.
transfer portal.
You know what? And then I think I'm going to take Kyler Murray here as my QB.
Probably should have
man.
taken him over Trey Lance, but having Trey Lance is just fun.
That's
Well,
cool.
kind of one of the best part about these pools is there's no ranking system on our little pool here, so it's really easy to forget about people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Don't you
you're up, Danielle.
forget about me. Yeah, you got it. I'm up. I know what's up. I'm totally down. I know what's down. Give me Josh Jacobs, dude. He's starting to do work.
Yeah, he is. So I was going to take. So I should have taken over Jonathan Foreman. I just freaked out.
I've been there, man. You guys will see at my next pick. Sometimes you freak out. Sometimes it's unnecessary to freak out. Sometimes you don't know till afterward.
It's the truth.
All right. Okay, so my running backs are looking fairly weak.
I'd say
Um,
Do it.
you must.
what?
Take
No, I'm not
It.
doing that. Fuck you guys. I'm not doing that.
You can do
God damn it.
it. Is Eno Benjamin still on the board?
What's the word? I'm fuckhead. Okay, no. I'm gonna take Sony Michelle.
Ooh, nice.
That's a good call.
Actually looks good.
He's looked
to be
really
honest, yeah, he has. It's been crazy. To be honest, I was gonna take James Conner, but I just did a quick little Google before, and it looks like he might sit. So I'm gonna take the chance on Sony Michelle. Rams need to win. 49ers rushing defense has not been that good. let's also go for Hunter Renfrow.
That's a good call right there.
Yes, sir.
Target monster, and obviously nobody has higher stakes than the Raiders and the Chargers right now. Just those winning end games are always fun, usually lead to some pretty crazy performances. So let's go Hunter Renfrow.
I like it.
Hell yeah. I guess, are we doing flexi sleepers? I don't know.
You know, we don't really have the rules are loose. They
Yeah.
could just be flexi.
My flexi is a sleeper, unless you're me, and then you're wide awake on Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, if James Conner had a clean bill of health, I would have had him there instead of Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Sniffing that out,
Well, I guess
smelling it.
if we're doing that, then I'll take my flexi right here.
Okay, you
The
saw
Josh
the
Palmer.
No,
flex
dude.
position.
It's a guy I talked about 2 weeks ago, and I told you to keep your eye on him.
Oh, Antoine
Wesley.
Say it ain't so.
I told you.
I don't know what that gesture was about. No implications.
Actually, I don't even see. This is how I know he's going to be good. I don't even know how to spell his name.
There's a lot of vowels in it.
Antoine. I have no idea. I'm going to put A. Wesley, even though I think I just spelled it right over here. And then, let's see. I got a super flex, so I'll take a quarterback here. I'm going to take Derek Carr, man.
Dude, what happened? Derek Carr was playing so well. And I know he's not playing bad now, but he looked like a top 5 quarterback, and now it's just meh.
Yeah.
It's
wait till you see
have
this
you met Derek Carr? I feel like this is Derek Carr. In the beginning, you're like, wow, this is the Derek Carr year, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna trade Amari Cooper, or they're like, shitty coach, whatever. Darren Waller gets hurt, all these things, but by the end of the year, you always have a reason to doubt Derek Carr, no doubt.
Yep.
You will always have that. So anyway, on this run of the...
It's like you need a tight end, super flex, and defense.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty much a guarantee that the Colts are going to rip it up. I'm going to just put Carson Wentz in there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm happy about it. I mean, there's no bad choices except for Taysom Hill, who's probably going to have the highest quarterback score of the week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Trey Lance is a bad choice, but he's off the board already. So.
Oh, wow.
Woof.
Rude.
That's just a little
Yeah, I
shade.
probably should. But it's fun, man.
Take Darren Waller
No,
right
it's a
here
lot
on your
of fun.
flex.
Yeah, that would be brutal.
I'm actually going to slide old Keenan Allen into the flex.
Oh, shit.
How was Keenan Allen not
I meant
been...
to. That's a victim of the.
Why do I have Antoine Wesley and Michael Pittman Jr. on my team?
Keenan Allen was the
no
third
Keenan
guy.
Allen or Mike Williams.
Wow.
I almost took him in the second round above AJ Brown, and then I just forgot about his name.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well,
Wow.
I'm glad that you did. I appreciate it.
Nicely done. Wow. I like how probably up at this point, people are like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
That's true. Yeah. Keenan Allen. Someone is listening to this yelling Keenan Allen.
Give me the Colts defense.
Smart.
That's
right
a good
there.
call, player.
Smart.
All right. You need a tight end and a defense here, buddy.
I'll take the tried and true. What you gonna do? I'll take the Saints defense.
You're just daring me to take Darren Waller right now.
These kind of seem like actual fantasy rosters. Some weeks we do this and it's like, oh, this would never happen. We have too many superstars. These seem pretty fairly evenly distributed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn. I think
Yeah, it's actually some baller.
so. I have two guys here.
You gonna do it, dude? You gonna step in the mud? You gonna tempt fate?
Well, my two that I'm just deciding against for my flex are
OBJ,
yes and
Darren Waller.
no,
Damn it.
Mike Williams.
Oh yeah, Mike Williams probably eat.
But let's see, the Rams and 49ers, Cooper Kupp, the way OBJ is getting red zone targets. I think I'm going to go OBJ, man.
Yeah,
Ooh.
smart move.
Okay.
Okay, OBJ.
It's so weird, yeah. And it's everyone is a human in the world, and the ego is a big part of that. And when you bring a player like OBJ in, we saw kind of force feeding some Van Jefferson targets last year. Some people don't like to be wrong about things.
Yeah.
And some people go out of their way to make sure that they look like they're right about things. And I think your OBJ pick is definitely going to get a little bit of boost from that scenario.
Yeah. Well, also you have a quarterback that can actually put the ball in a position.
Depending on the game.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
and then
Stafford always throws it well, just not always to the right guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the right uniform.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I think I'm going to tighten up here.
We white jerseys tonight? Oh.
And it's funny. I was gonna take Zay Jones until Christian reminded me there was Charger receivers, and I was like, oh, I need to really look at this list over here.
That's funny. I will go with
Zach Ertz.
I really want to go with Zach Ertz, but I'll go with Darren Waller. He's, dance with the guy that brought you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best offseason of my life. Drafting Terry McLaurin in the second round, Deontay Johnson in the third round, and picking up Darren Waller as a free agent in the summer.
You see what he's doing here?
T.Y.
T.Y., baby.
T.Y.
What else? What was he also known by?
Oh, Beanie Baby Hotel.
Yeah, let's go.
Wait, is that for real?
That's what Mike calls him. T.Y. Hilton, Beanie Baby Hotel.
Oh, okay.
That's very clever.
It is very clever. Yeah, I just I like T.Y., man, and the Colts are going to be going hard as hell. And again, just more of a fun pick. I've always been a big T.Y. fan.
As you should be, man.
Yeah.
That's the Indianapolis in you.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of which, the NFL Combine's in.
That looks like some good rosters, boys. You'd think we did a podcast or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Hells
just here
yeah.
because I bring the weed. You play drums? Nah, I just bring the weed.
Hell yeah. Well, there it is. The Week 18 playoff implication rosters. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Will
Oh,
be.
yeah.
Something to actually give a shit about.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because the Dynasty draft isn't until May 7th, so I already got it on my calendar.
May
And-
7th. I'm really glad that that's not Memorial Day weekend this year. That's really fucked me over in the past.
Oh, no. Well, I just made it a week after the draft, so that was...
Yep.
I'm with it, man. It was always my fault that we pushed it back so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
all
was. You're a real
Brian
piece of
Edwards.
you fucking stoner.
Hey,
Um,
that's our word.
Yep. I say that wraps it, huh?
Yeah.
Stick around. Next week we're doing ADP versus reality.
It's going to be cool.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Got
be.
sheets made.
That's right. Someone's spending all their time on Google Sheets.
Yep. Pretty good.
It's-
Good thing we probably have an extra week to get into it, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it didn't look like we had time this week to get it in there.
Understandably so.
Sometimes AJ teases me, and sometimes I tease him.
Yep. Sometimes it's just.
Sometimes I watch.
It's a love triangle.
Sometimes it's just. It's just MNCF. All right. Well, take it easy, everybody. Until next time. Rock,
Thanks.
Yeah.